everything's good. Everything's fine. It's recording what I wanted to record. Put that over there. Put this over here. Pause. We're going for 20 minutes. And after that 20 minutes is up, then I'm just going to focus on stacking up content to post on Facebook. Which I have not done yet. Okay, where's the highlight? Might as well add it with I think after this I'll focus on that feels, it's not textured. Okay. Like, if I want to texture Travis's hair, it'd be like, please don't. Please work with me. Please work with me. Please work with me. Thank you. Yeah, it would be something like that. Nah, baby steps. Baby steps. I'm already doing a lot. Oop. Wait, what layer is this? Yeah, after this, I think I'm going to just add textures in the backgrounds because I don't really feel like drawing. I really just don't feel like drawing these backgrounds, dog. Maybe for the next one, but not this one. Maybe when I get my groove back. Oh wait, the opacity's not at 100%, that's why. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get my groove back. Okay. It really feels like the work's never done. Always working on something. AF in the chat, what's going on? Let's go Spain. Sounds like World Cup news. Which I am completely out of. Spain passed the final. Oh, that's cool. Good for Spain. I feel like there's a brush that does this a lot. That can do this a lot faster. I remember there was a Krita brush that did this. But yeah, speeding past to the final. Big ups. Not really a copy paste texture, but a brush, like a rake brush, that does several strokes at once. Like this. I'm almost done with this anyway, and I might just have to redo the playground of ideas. The more that I think about it, the more that I feel like redoing this segment for this book. Mostly because the concept of the playground of ideas doesn't really fit the tone or the it really doesn't fit the theme too much when I look at it in a second look. So I'm thinking about doing it over again. But that is a bridge I shall cross when I get to it. Like this page, like the book is already written completely. It's just a last minute change. AG4, what's going on? The ad plan that I had going on has to be put on hold, or I'm just not. Well, most specifically, I'm not doing it on Pinterest for a while because my heat map is telling me that the ads that I'm buying are bots. So I shall go somewhere else. Just remember about the author of Demon Slayer. Have you seen it? Can I spoil it for you? Yeah, sure, you can spoil it. I don't think that I'm planning on watching Demon Slayer. If I haven't seen it already, I probably would well, never really have the interest to watch it or read it. Like I don't even read the comics that I think that are interesting uh, as of now. Like I would really want to be into Absolute Batman, but I haven't read like an entire chapter yet. Not a chapter, but I haven't read it in anything beyond uh, volume 1. So, and I'm thinking that I might get back into or watch Batman, the animated series. Because sometimes when I'm on Twitter, I just get psyoped into watching it. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this series really has some pretty cool ideas. But we shall see. We shall see. if I'll ever get around to watching it. He killed Rengoku, fire captain, because it was a pain to draw. Oh, that's hilarious. That's just how it goes. You get caught up, and then the juice ain't worth the squeeze no more. I heard that Twitter is brutal these days with its algorithm. I heard they changed their algorithm, but I have not really paid attention to like how they changed. I just heard everybody saying that. Wait, no, they changed it. I think I remember. I think they changed it by making the For You page show more people, more of your mutuals, or something like that. And I think when I hear that, it sounds like they want to make the social media more social. That's what it sounds like. I feel like a change like that would benefit people who follow back, who would have a lot of followers, and they would follow back. So I would call this the mutual update, where Twitter really wants you to follow people back, so your stuff can be shown to more people, and they'll retweet your stuff, and that will get, hopefully, from what it sounds like, it'll get people to start making clicks again, instead of everybody just following one figure, trying to be the next e-celeb. So those Japanese art pages on Twitter who that posts one work in progress and gets 10,000 likes, yeah, they're done for. They're over. Oh yeah, and they don't follow anybody else. Yeah, those Twitter accounts are Dunyan rings. They're over. They're gone forever. Oh well. Okay. Let's see. I want to see if I can do something with Sketchfab. If I can find a 3D model of a gymnasium. I just want a ceiling. I want those ceilings that have like those high steel beams. They kind of look like this. Oh, is this it? Is this what I'm going for? Wow, I could really steal this. Oh, oh wow. Oh wow. This is like the perfect. Oh my goodness. This is very similar to the one that I had in high school. Almost. Well, it's very close. It's very close. Oh my goodness gracious. This is what I've been looking for. This is literally what I've been looking for. My gym nearly looks like this. Oh my gosh. Darn near. Let me show you guys the Sketchfab. Let me just... Come on. Where's my bookmark? me show you guys this. Actually, yeah, I'll just stream it. What was it? Screen capture? Yeah. Okay. Open selector. Please don't crash out on me. Yeah, this thing right here. Wait, where's the thing? Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, so it didn't have certain areas, but it's kind of laid out different. But in my school, like this wall over here would be where you would enter. Like these there would be like entrances and exits through these two walls. And like there wouldn't be any windows over here. It would just be wait, hold up. No, yeah, it would be like right here, but it would be like a little bit parallel. But like there would be doors right here that would lead to the exit of the gymnasium, and my gym also had stairs like this. But if you would twist it to like a 90-degree angle and just put it more on the side, the layout is pretty much similar. But it had like this second area, the second story right here, and in my mind, like this is where Travis and Ali are talking, all right? Like this second story over here, and there's like there would be like two or three small fighting rings going on over here, just like one big fighting ring happening in the center of the basketball in the basketball court over here. That's basically what's going on. Like that's this is pretty much perfect. That's perfect. Oh, yeah. Uh, yeah, okay, so no one said anything new. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. Wait, no. Hold up. You guys couldn't see it. Shoot. You guys couldn't see it. I'm going to freaking... No, wait, you guys could. Could you? Cancel. Yeah, I don't know. Did you? I don't know if you guys saw it. I wasn't really paying attention. Shoot. Man, all these tabs look the same. Delete, whatever. Yeah, we see it. Cool. Yeah, this is like when was this posted? When was this posted? This was posted 10 years ago. This is literally what I was looking for. I don't know if I would be able to copy it, though. But this is awesome. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let me just move screenshot. Go here. Bada bing. Let me see something. Bada bing. There we go. Something like that. I feel like it would be two. Yeah, the one different thing is that my gym didn't have like that skyline, but it's not bad either. Not a bad addition. Not a bad addition. I wonder if there's a way that I can make the inspector a little bit different. No post-processing. Base color. Metalness. Consistency. Like, this is what I do, usually, when I want to matte cap surfaces. Wireframe? Okay, I guess this will be a good way for me to show what I do. Let me go back to this thing. Open selector, da 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 da, Sketchfab. Yes. So what I'm trying to do is find a good ew. I'm trying to find a good way to screenshot this so I can like easily trace this. Basically. But the one thing I do remember about my school is that the steel beams were a lot like they were bigger. They were around like 3 times the width of these beams. You know what I mean? But the pattern was still the same. But I'll just use that. Wait, you guys can't see it. I hate this freaking. Hate this freaking. Oh wait, I freaking whatever, yo. Whatever, yo. So I think let's see if I can work with this. Hmm. Yeah, this works. I think this works. But yeah. I remember when I was new to doing stuff like this, I was afraid that people would be like, "Oh man, you're cheating. This isn't. You're cheating." Because there was a moment in internet history where everybody was hating on mangaka for doing the exact same thing, looking for references for their stuff, for their panels. And I was like, "Oh man, people are gonna think that I'm cheating." But then I had a thought. Then something came to my mind. Wait, nobody knows who I am. It literally doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. No one knows who I am. Uh, and plus, it gets the story that I wanted to tell done. Long story short, no one cares. Okay, so how would I do this? Well, first things first. How would I simplify this? Because I don't want to draw everything. I want to draw what is the most important. Hmm. Did you hear the DreamCon controversies? No. What were this year's DreamCon controversies? Because you gotta have them every year. It wouldn't be DreamCon without it. I remember Matt showed me a video of a guy saying that he wouldn't go out to DreamCon because there's no opportunities there. He said like because DreamCon is basically a just a fan meetup for RDC World, and there's no and if you want to go out there for like real business opportunities, you're not gonna find it there. And I was like, wow, this guy is spitting. And then I look in the comments and everyone's like, oh man, guy never went to DreamCon. And he's just saying stuff. He's just saying anything. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. Like, he was right, though. Sex assault, too much sexualization, basically being a big convention for black people instead of black anime fans. P.S. Also saw a no opportunity guy. Yeah, with that no opportunity guy, that was basically my entire DreamCon experience. I went there for opportunity, and I just got a black people convention. That's literally what it is. I'm like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong, it's fun. It's the most lively like convention that I've ever been to. It's fine, it's fun, but yeah, it is just black people getting together. It's just one big, it's just black party. This is black block party basically for 3 days. Geek Nick, as as some people would call it. Like I remember when I was out in DreamCon last year, I wanted to just network and just talk to a lot of people. The most disillusioning thing was the amount of people who just sounded like they didn't even belong there. It was annoying. It was annoying. It sounded like they didn't even know how they got there. They like it's just people who just ended up being famous on YouTube or TikTok, and they got the creator badge. And when I chop it up with them, they're like, "Yeah, it was real Hollywood. They were really Hollywood for something like DreamCon, you know." So it was annoying. I don't. It was annoying. If you're on going there for a mission, no. If you're on a mission, no, you're not. Don't go there. If you want to have fun, yeah. But if you're on a mission, no, no. Oh yeah, and the whole, I guess the sexual, too much sexual assault and too much sexualization. Yeah, yeah, it was so crazy on days where you would have women, just big women, just in skin tight suits, showing a whole bunch of cheeks on one side of the aisle, and then you would have like a young family that brought their kids, like young kids, like toddlers, around on the other side of the aisle. And I just felt bad for the young parents who wanted to like bring their kids out to like a black convention, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is fun being around our people, and we love nerd stuff. We love geek culture," and then they just see a whole bunch of sexual foolishness going on. And when you have that type of sexual energy, you're gonna get people who's gonna be like, "Oh, you're just showing all that? Yo, let me take advantage." And now they're looking, now everyone's looking like them, like looking at them like they're the bad guy. But no one's really telling. There's no one that's really has the idea of having a sense of decency to them. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like I said, if you want to be an adult and have fun, DreamCon is a place. But if you, I literally, personally, I wouldn't go back out there unless I got invited. I would not go back out there unless I got invited. I wish there was more serious. There was a more serious alternative. You mean like what the guy mentioned, like with TwitchCon or PAX, or do you just talking about a more serious Black Comic Con or nerd convention? Like if you're gonna have like a more serious stuff like that, the framing has to be kind of different. It really can't just be, you're gonna. I feel like you're gonna have to drop the black label. Like I think that's just gonna have to happen. Yeah, more serious nerd culture convention. I remember. I remember. The last Comic Con that I attended or I boothed at, I had to share a booth, right? And the person who shared the booth with me, that he said that that was his gonna be his last place that he was vending at, because a lot of culture, nerd culture, geek culture conventions, they're, well, comic cons. They aren't really comic cons. They're just they're just culture conventions, just nerd conventions. It's like they psyopted anime culture to make a giant nightclub. That remind that reminds me so much of, there was a thing. There was like a black flea market, of a black flea market around my area that was that was like going on, and I remember the creators of the black flea market. They did another black owned. They stopped doing the black flea market, but they did another black nightclub. They did another like a nightclub, or not another. They did a nightclub business before that one, and they had to shut it down because it got too rowdy. Uh, Niggas were getting into fights. It was it was loud, too rowdy. People were fighting, and they were like, you know what, we can't really do this, but we'll try doing the black flea market. But they decided to stop doing the black flea market because there was another flea market. There was another artisan flea market that was going on at a similar time, not at like a the day prior or at a similar time, and they blamed the rival flea market for the lack of attendees. And I remember I met Tony, what was it, Anthony Tony Weaver Jr. guy, that guy, for the first time. I remember I met that guy for the first time out there. So that was a pretty interesting thing. Yeah, it's no, I completely get it. Like I've been to like separate, like a handful of black uh, pop up markets, and they always have nightclub vibes. It's always a nightclub vibe. It's like even in broad daylight too. I don't know. I don't know what's that's all about. I don't think they, yeah. And to say what the thing about psyopting, I don't think that's a psyop. I don't think they psyoped it really. I just think that's what happens when black people kind of run a get together. It becomes a night. It just becomes a nightclub. That's what it just becomes, a juke joint. For some reason. Like, why is that? Why is that? Actually, this is too detailed. I don't even think I need to. Let me just sketch it out, right? Let me just sketch it out and see what happens. Yeah, I feel like some people left because they're like, I'm not here for all that racism. When was the last Black Center cartoon series like Boondocks? These conventions would be pitching. When was the last Black centered cartoon series like the Boondocks? Those conventions could be pitching ground for small black cartoonists to network with big content creators in the industry people. Like I said, I like that one guy, that one like a RDC world hater guy, whatever. You would have to go to conventions where the business people are, like or those representatives are, like Sony, like yeah, like what was it, PAX or TwitchCon. You would kind of have to go there. You would probably have to go where there are those types of people present, representatives present. Like that's it. But if you want to be like something black, don't know. That's probably too niche. But probably, sure, maybe, sure. Let's see. Let's see how I could do this. I think, man, yeah, you would have like yeah, you would have to go where they are. I mean, like to be fair, I thought that's what the DreamCon thing was gonna be. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, black represent 46 million people in the U.S. That's more. That's more people than of whole countries. How can that be niche? Just because there's like black people there, that doesn't mean they care about that specific thing, right? Like you would have to psyop them to care about something like that. But yeah, I get your point. There's a lot of people there. But would there like how I just don't think there's something you're missing, and that's like the actual behaviors, the economics of black people and what they would spend their time and money on. Like, for example, oh man, this is gonna sound like really crazy to say. One example would be when I was talking to my cousin who's a landlord, and I remember, and I remember this was we were talking. He's a landlord. He was talking about rent, and he noticed like he'd rather lend lend out one of his properties to someone who's white or Muslim, because white people pay on time. Muslim people believe that it is a sin. If you owe money, you go to hell. But the common thing about black people is that, well, black tenants is that they do not pay on time, and that's like a constant thing that he realizes, right? Is it always white people? No, but it's a lot. It's a lot more than more than you want, more than it's like comfortable saying. There are so what I'm trying to say is certain demographics, they are prone to certain behaviors, and if they in that behavior does not elicit if like a certain demographic does not want or does not care about a certain thing, you can't really look at that number and say, okay, we're gonna push it here, and just because there's a lot of people there doesn't mean that they actually want it, right? There's got to be a behavior of that, of partaking and liking that culture, in order for it to be a good idea to do something like that, right? Because like I guess DreamCon is like the best example of that, of certain demographics. LMAO, if you wasn't black, they tell you you're a white supremacist. Exactly. We can't really have a serious conversation about stuff like this without being like, okay, you're not one of us, right? And that's why I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. And I like to work with what I got, right? And if there was a idea of we gotta bring up all black da 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 da, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I remember I had a conversation about this with Matt, because Matt wanted Just Reaper to be a thing. He really wants Just Reaper to hit with like the black audience. And I remember I said something like don't be so gung ho, don't be so gung ho about something that people, they might not like financially support it. Well, black people I was wrong, because black people are willing to support Just a Reaper. Maybe it's because they like the idea, or they just like us. We're naturally charismatic. But going back to what I said with DreamCon, like if you would think that they would stay on the example of it being a place for anime, video games, and just general nerd stuff. However, it just turns into a nightclub, right? It just turns into a darty. And that just reminds me, and like I said earlier in the conversation, when I go to black ran events, they also turn into a darty, a day party. They turn into in a club setting. So like, it's a thing that it's a pattern. It's a pattern where when you have like something that's black run, it doesn't turn into anything serious. And especially if it's in a social setting, it doesn't really turn into something that's serious or focused. It's more focused on just fun, relax, party vibes, and it's not really a networking experience. It's not focused on a networking experience. That's what I got when I was at DreamCon last year. It was more fun than a networking experience. And there was a YouTube lounge that I stayed all day for 3 days straight. right? Trying to network, and it was, yeah, I think one of the head team managers of the YouTube community, he was there. He didn't even peep me. Even Matt met him. It's like, oh yeah, my boy Mason, he's there. Go holler at him. I was there all day. I know he saw me. He ain't nothing. Everybody's Hollywood. I mean, you do have counterexample of black events that stay seriously. There has to be. Are there any examples? From all my moments, it's I think okay. A lot of places that I went when I was vending, they really wanted to focus on that fun aspect. Not to say that they weren't serious, they were really focused on the fun aspect. Yeah. 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 Like sitting down like sitting down and networking with people. Mhm. Mm. No. No. Haven't been to one. Like there but however, the places that I went to were more focused on being like pop-up events. They're more focused on being pop-up events, right? And that is vendors go out there, they set up their booths. The event usually does all the marketing. You're skiing. Okay, it's a pop up event, so you would just go out there. The place would hope that you would advertise where most people don't really advertise. They just don't. They nah. And you go out there, you do your thing, and that's it. That's pretty much it. You're scaring me. No, like it's kind of a. It is really. Hey, Lamai. It is kind of like that. Like everybody. Yeah, let me just say this, right? Everybody wants to say the Boondocks. It predicts the future a lot. It really doesn't. It's just that the cartoon is able to say this is what black people do, and we've been doing this for, and black people just exhibit the same behaviors decade after decade, to the point, and we are pretty good at forgetting it, to the point where like Aaron Magruder is just documenting what black people do, and black people have like a short memory, like selective, not short memory, but a selective memory, where they would watch an old Boondocks episode, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, they really predicted the future." When it's not even them predicting the future, it's just them telling, just reporting what happened like 10 years ago or 20 years ago, right? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. And it's really it's such an easy way to say we need to, like, black people, we need to do better, but I'm like, all right, so how are we going to be better? How, like, that's like, it's saying that we need to do better, that's such a lot, it's platitudes to me, it's annoying every time I hear it. Difficult to do. Exactly, it's a generational thing. Okay, I think this is a good way. I'm just sketching this to try to like imitate like the pattern of like the high ceiling. I'm not even gonna draw the window or anything. You start with the kids, but it's like so broad. Yeah, you start with the kids. So how many conventions have you been to? Um, I want to say I've been to like around three, four, five, like around 4 or 5. Like I can tell you like the white conventions done and like DreamCon, you can tell, or like night and day. Like in the white conventions that I've been to, it's only loud because you just have a lot of people and conversations. In DreamCon, it's loud because guys would just bring their speakers and they would blast their music within in the hallways. like it's like that. It's loud because you would have people doing something sort of like a line dance where it's just everybody just like screaming like down the hall, running down the hall, doing something for Instagram. It's it's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's very high energy. You have to be satirizing. This can't be true. It's true. It is true. When I went to DreamCon last year, it was a block party within a building. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. It was fun to like look at all of that. It was fun, but it was a block party within a building. RDC just rented out a building to have a block party in it. With like a dodgeball tournament and such. They had like, I mean, they also had like night parties, which regular conventions they have like night parties, the bigger ones, which I don't go to. When the sun goes down, I go to bed. Like no, like I'm not staying out. You can stand outside? Heck no, forget that. No, I'm going to bed. Yeah, it's like, can there be a serious one? A serious thing for just black people? Sure. Sure, there can be. But if it's like, I am so convinced that if it's like a black person, if it's like a not a black person, but if it's like a black focused thing, it's gonna turn into a like a day party. It's gonna be a day party. Like you go there to have fun. Like maybe would you say what would you say is the best social media to network with cartoonists? Um dang. Probably Instagram. I think that's the network that I'm networked with that's the social media that I networked with most of cartoonists. I hate Instagram, but like artists are just there. Um Twitter was never really that place. But yeah, Instagram's pretty much that place because every artist is pretty much on there. I'm trying to. I'm learning a little bit more about Facebook monetization. So and I'm gonna see what I can do with that. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to say. When I get off, I'm gonna start to schedule my Facebook posts and see like how I can take that seriously. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I'm just going back to like the whole conversation about why can't black people have anything serious. Oh no, like I know if you look up any interview or public speech that Aaron McGruder, the creator of the Boondocks, like he really displays a tiredness of how unserious black people can be. If you really want to see somebody who is very tired of like the nonsense of black people and he just wants black people to do better because he's black, uh, like listen to his speeches. Like, but networking is pretty difficult. It really is funny because it just reminds me of people like Bantu Diaries or just or what of his what's his name, Andre Williams, where they're just complaining about the behaviors of black people. And like they would get people like other black people being like, yeah, this is messed up, but a lot of times the detractors just them focus on the narrative or the idea that they just hate black people because it's criticism. Like I tend not to talk about it. I tend not to talk about it because it's like whatever. Like what? Like there's literally no. I don't think there's anything I would be able. Nothing I would say, right? That would move the needle one way or another. So I just rather write stuff. Golly, golly, why is this not working? Dude, what? Oh, what? No. Color. That's unfortunate. I think I just going to create another TikTok account and upload speed paint content and create a network. By still looking over how they ban me. Speed paint content. I mean, you can try that just to get in the habit of uploading. But as a guy who did speed paint content, that's mm, a lot of people. I know I've had that phase on TikTok, posting speed paint content. It didn't really go out so well unless you do it and iterate on it and see what works. Yeah, go ahead. I think the best. Oh, wrong layer. That's why. think the best thing that you can do is try to iterate. Is just do it and then learn, and then do it again, and then do like something different, and do it again. Just try to learn, see what works, because that kind of stuff is pretty common, pretty common there. Yeesh, let me just. Yeah, that band was pretty wild. I don't see why they would ban you. I'm pretty chill on stream. You said some. You said you spent time on right wing Twitter. That's what's their new obsession of this week. On right wing Twitter, what was it? The Charlie Kirk assassinator. He's on trial. Assassinator. Assassinator. The assassin. He's on trial, and uh, that got the right wing split between being lied to about Charlie Kirk being secretly the most base right winger. He was about to be the most base right winger to have ever graced the the internet, versus the narrative of he just got shot by a radical left wing guy, which is not pretty uncommon out here. Um, Depending on who you talk to, because if you talk to people on the left, they'll say there's too many radical right wingers, and when you talk to people on the right, they say there's too many radical left wingers. And I just decide not to get in conversations about that, because when you do, you're basically talking with somebody with a fundament that functions off a fundamentally different plane of existence. So there cannot be any conversation to be had when it comes to stuff like that. The internet is ruthless, yeah. And what was it? What was another guy? A guy died. An old Republican guy died. I don't even know his name, but he was like a neocon, and that neocon was basically Israel's top guy. He hated Russia. Always wanted to go to war. Well, that's like the conservative position of constant war is good. And he died of. I think he died in his 70s, early 70s, of a heart attack. And the right wing is Lindsey Graham. Yes, Lindsey Graham. And the right wing is also split between honoring his legacy and saying he is another Israeli puppet. But from what I hear, he's just a guy that really liked Israel because they gave him a lot of money. That's what I hear. So, guy who Rhino, like yeah, Republican in name only. Also, it's also spelled Rino, Republic, and that stands for Republican in name only. Yeah. So he died. Right. I feel like anytime someone makes a move, somebody Rino, not Reno. Like where's the E in Republican in name only? Like Rino. No, so there's that. So yeah, That's what's going on. And what was well in the I guess this is also somewhat news, but people in the right wing aren't really talking about it that much. Is the IDF is is in a open collaboration with the Pentagon, which if you're in the right wing, you're this is like stuff that you already know because they're already in politics, they're already in media, they're in every facet of American life if you look 2 seconds into it. And now the government's like going out and loud and proud, being like, "Yeah, we're cool with the IDF." Oh yeah, and like the only reason why this war in the Middle East is going on is because America and Israel are the only people who really want it to happen. So yeah, and Trump is also playing this as a fiddle because he's opening and he's starting and stopping the war based off of the stock market, which is also interesting. But hey, that's what's going on in right wing news. I wonder if I'm missing something. I wonder if I'm missing something. On the fringe side of right wing news, it seems like there's a schism between white nationalists of if they want to drop Christianity in favor of paganism. So because they want to drop Christianity in favor of paganism or something like that. And it's pretty much in a tug of war. It's pretty like you have two sides. You have the Christ first people, and then you have the race first people. And yeah, and like with the Christ first people, they say, well, Christianity is the. Did you see the Arval Patriot Front shenanigans? Yeah, I saw the I saw the like I saw the I talking about the thing that happened on the bus on the train where there was like that one black girl with a bunch of Patriot Front guys. I thought that was interesting. I had no thoughts about that. I really had like I just don't have any thoughts. I just see that I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Um, yeah, I've heard she was acting crazy before they got on. Like, I really don't want to. I really. It's kind of like. Hold up. There was. It reminds me of that recent case that my parents insist on me to hear about. There was like a black kid who went on a fishing trip with his white friends, and he ended up going missing. He went fishing and gone missing. And everybody on the internet, every black person on the internet, is saying that his white friends murdered him. And like, oh yeah, I heard about that. I just feel bad for the black kid because his legacy on America is probably going to be co-opted by people who want to stoke racial tensions in America. Which that kid had a lot of white friends. It's hard for me to imagine that's even if that was like the case, would he really like would he really want that? No one really thinks about no one's really it really is annoying. It really is annoying. I just don't really it's really is annoying how I don't really hear a lot. Well, the only time I hear people talk about it is just people who really want to race bait. The only people I hear talk just race hustling. The only time I hear people talk about it is if they really want to race hustle, or they really have like they want another reason to just hate white people, which is fun, which is interesting. Make a quick buck, yeah. It's like we're not to the point that we're not that we forget. I'm sure people don't even remember the kid, don't even remember the kid's name. They only see that kid as a tool to race hustle, and that's mad unfortunate. That's mad unfortunate. And we don't even know what happened to this kid. Like we don't even. I don't think we even have a body yet. And they just went straight. These people just went straight to race hustling. So it is what it is. Man, it's unfortunate. It's annoying. It's mad annoying. Have you ever race hustled, Mason? No. Nah, I don't really feel like it. Feels like a pain. I could, but that's a pain. I don't feel like race hustling. Like I don't even like saying I'm a black cartoon creator. That's how that's how averse I am. You know why I say I could? Because I remember when I was like vending in like flea markets, I would have black people just buy my comics just because I'm black. I have people tell me to my face that they were buy my comic because I'm black. And I'm like, wow, is it that easy? Is it really like that? I get that is it really like that? They don't even know if I'm good at all. They just want to support me because of the color of my skin. I refuse to have any thoughts on that, but other than wow, it must be real easy to erase hustle. Oh yeah, why I don't really like to say that I'm a black creator, because I think it's mostly because what I want my goal to be, I want people to talk about my stuff like how people talk about the Boondocks in a way where they talk more about what happens in the story, or what happens in the story, what are the deeper meanings in the story, the symbolisms, more than oh yeah, Mason McKinney is doing a thing. Like read this because it's a Mason McKinney thing, or read this, or like read this because it's a Masonymous thing. I don't want to do that because that's lame. No shame on people who do, but he doing that thing, yeah. I don't want people to engage with it because it has my name, because I'm black. For the longest time, I didn't want to. I wanted to be a faceless channel, but now I just show my face because I emote better. I think people like doing the face cam thing, and I'm a pretty animated guy, so it's. I don't think I can live stream without the face cam because my mannerisms are pretty much half of the entertainment value. Even though I'm stuck on this little tiny box right here. This little tiny box. It's it adds to it. I'm not against it. I'm not against being actually no. I'm just gonna be against like drawing the ceiling. I wanted to draw the ceiling for a while, but now I'm like this is taking too much time. It's taking too much. It's taking way too many time. Way too much time. And it doesn't even look that good to me. I remember the Asmongold face thumbnail clip. Oh, you mean the what do you mean the Asmongold face thumbnail clip? When I was just like doing stupid faces? Or did Asmongold do something pretty funny? Yeah, okay. You okay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I can't really do stuff like that if I don't have the camera on me. This $20 camera that is on life support for some reason. Let's see. Let's make the inside black as well. But yeah, it's like it really is an interesting thing. It really is an interesting thing to think about. Of like black people in America and politics and how literally nothing happens. Nothing happens. Literally nothing happens. Maybe that's a good thing. I still can't get over how the DC so white people caved so fast. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said when it's nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Oh my gosh. You want to tell me that there's going to be a functional black uh, Comic Con when comic fans cave to DC so white to gay people? Like when there's statistically more black people in America than there are gay people. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Actually, never mind. The number of gay people have risen, so who knows what the number is to at this point. Oh man, but hey, it's what it's what it is. It is what it is. All you gotta do. Oh, Mason, the mountain. Oh, Mason of the mountain. What is your wisdom? My wisdom. Seek knowledge within the fear of God. I think 1 in 5 Gen Z identify as queer in the U.S. It's higher for women. Higher for women. I'm like, I really want to. We're really we. I don't trust. I don't trust women. I don't trust it. I don't trust them. Queer women? No, not really. I don't trust that. Sorry, I don't trust it. Like, 1 in 5, and plus 1 in 5 Gen Z identify as queer. Yeah, because like there's no reason to identify as something that matters anymore. Like I get that because there's really nothing to identify with as an American anymore. How so? Women are pretty much social creatures. They'll say literally anything to be in good social standing within their henpecked group. That's just how women are. Like to, like, as a guy, a lot of like when you have to understand, men and women, oh, in the West, they think that they have the same minds. They think as if men and women think the same and behave the same, and therefore they can act the same. The only different things about them are their just genitals, and that's just not true. That's just not true. Mason Tate moment. Sure. Sure. Mason Tate, what year is it? Like, did we flash back to 2020? Do people even talk about Andrew Tate anymore? I know he's doing like I don't know. Isn't he like trying to scam people in Dubai to come to Dubai? I remember when Dubai was being bombed, and he and he was on he was doing a PR saying no, this Dubai is fine. Come like I ain't afraid of a little bombs. Like that's interesting. What happened to Andrew Tate? Does he still say the hard R on Twitter? I don't. My neck of the woods stopped talking about him. I hear him like here and there, but it's not like he's doing anything. I think he's still getting sued. So he's laying low until the lawsuit is over. And he's probably just going to go back to doing nothing. To take care of his several his wives and kids. I know I don't know. Nah, it's true. Women think men feel the same way about relationships and get burned because of it. Yeah. It's like, no. Like, men mess up so hard with women as soon as they start treating women like men. Like, women want to be treated like equals, but women don't want to be men. like, relax a bit. Like, relax with that. I'm really fascinated with celebrities that are in the process of losing relevancy. I can't explain why. It's like watching a star fade away. Is it probably because they want to relive moments in their past? It's hard. A man can sleep with a woman and feel nothing about it. It's hard for a woman to feel the same. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. This hypergamous society, it really makes me wonder about that. This hypergamous society. Like, yes, men can do that, but women, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. like, like a lot of guys are told that. I don't know if I believe that. like you can't really have memes like saying that women pair bond, and then you have the meme of the thousand cock stare. Sorry to be vulgar, like out of nowhere, but can't really like. I don't think those two things can exist at the same time. Like at one point, everyone is talking about you, and as the new generation age, you start becoming a nobody. And dude, I remember hearing that teachers were getting like what middle school teachers were having their kids talk to them like you should be in the kitchen like I'm like that's insane. That's insane. That's funny. That's crazy. like yeah, I think this I'm not gonna draw any backgrounds here. I've just been working on this for way too long, and I don't think I care anymore. A lot of hurt, a lot of hurt women trying to get a one up on the men who wrong them. Sound that checks out. That checks out. Well, actually, sure. I can I can buy that. I think I can buy that. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't actually know. I really don't know. I probably would if I listened to a podcast of women talking about their sexual experiences and what goes on in their minds. But if I did that, I would be so upset if I did. Therefore, that's something that I kind of do. I might not care about knowing. I mean, I could write a story about that, and the logic would check out. But would I listen to a podcast of women talking about their sexcapades and how they emotionally felt during it? I don't think I would care too much to psychoanalyze that. What worries me about modern women is how they repost things like "kill all men" on TikTok and Instagram, and it's treated like when normal Western society, because no one treats nobody treats women seriously. Like, okay, like people, yeah. I'm like, no one treats them seriously. Like they can say all that because like nobody can. They're not gonna do it. Like no, they're like kids. Like no one treats them serious. Like it it really comes down to your life is going to be hell if you treat women if you have male expectations on women. Like I keep seeing people go through the same hell because they have male expectations they impose male expectations onto women, especially women that they don't know. So women will be like kill all men because no one cares what they have to say. No one cares. They have no power. Well, they have voting power. They have the power to hire and fire people because of they're in HR. But like also, I don't even pay attention to like any like usually it's gotten to a point where I don't really listen to a lot of female creators on YouTube. I will only listen to a female creator on YouTube if it's I want to hear something through a feminine perspective. But bro, they are in the government, in HR, and vote. Yeah, the women who, yeah, that's unfortunate. We don't, but still, if you treat women like men, you're going to be in hell, in a mental hell, because you're gonna be like, you're gonna realize that the power is against you when you try to when the power is against you. So you can treat women like men and be surprised that the powers that be treat them better than men, or you can just disassociate altogether, disassociate from them, and not take whatever they say seriously. Because really, honestly, whatever women do in the government or in HR or like through voting, that really doesn't affect me personally. I'm talking about me personally, me. I don't put myself in situations where that stuff like that like ruins like just takes credence in my mind. Like, yeah, I know they're in positions of power, but they're not really doing any. Like, yeah, they're in positions of power. Yeah, like, should we take them seriously? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going? What literally? What are you going to do? Are you gonna walk up to office being like, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're not supposed to be here"? No, you're just like, oh, like, like, do what you can to make sure your life is right, and when you're trying to focus on everything that's in your peripheral vision, you're going to lose track on what really matters in your life. Naive girl falls for a guy. She thinks he's the one, but he sees her as practice. She gets bitter over it and takes it out on all men. Men ain't shit. Female empowerment, queens, get the bag, etc. Yeah, because you are disengaged of the political life. Politics is so slow, and a lot of things are pushed against the people's will. It like it. I might as well be disengaged at this point. It's not uncommon. Like everyone, I know everybody says like go vote, but I remember, but there, like when it comes to it, there is nothing really holding the representatives accountable voting against the best interest of their people, because people are so disengaged in politics to the point where they can literally do whatever they want and they can still be a career politician. Like if you really want to make a change in like politics, it would have to be slow and egregious of somebody like me going into politics, literally just going into the game, keeping my head down for decades for a chance, and just for like brown nose and outlive my mentors. Like, do I want to do that? Man, man, if I'm called for it, maybe. But right now, I want to focus on culture. That's the one thing that I care most about. I want to focus on culture. I don't know. Maybe it's in my DNA, cause I'm black, right? I know a lot of black people are focused on culture. That's like their thing. They eat, sleep, and breathe the concept of culture. And I am no different. I am no different. So that's what I'm doing. And until we have like a dictator in America that does the things that I want to do, which is probably never gonna happen, so things are just gonna get worse before they get better. I wish I lived in a system like Singapore or Switzerland. Their society are so well run considering their circumstances. I'm the average person who don't ever think of politics. Honestly, politics in America is just a waste of time. I hate when people say get involved and vote on politics. Like, man, it's annoying. It's annoying. Like, shout out to anybody who actually I would just say it's not in my field. It's literally not in my field. It's not in my field. And people say it's my civic duty. It's like it was never supposed to be my civic duty to begin with. It never was supposed to be my civic duty to vote. And it's honestly because people like me who are able to vote, that's just not going to be able to make this country better until the problem of culture is dealt with. I don't really think about that kind of stuff. Of I wish I lived in a different country. If I did live in a wish I would live in a different country, it would be in a country where I can just do stuff like this. I could make. I'd be comfortable living off of like $1,000 a month. That's the country that I want. I'd be able to get a wife, wed a woman, have a bunch of kids, and take care of the kids. Raise them up in the ways of the Lord, so they won't depart. That's what I want. That's what I want. Just vote for your interests, red, blue, or stay on the couch if you hate both. I remember hearing that if you vote third party, if enough people vote third party, the government will give the third party like $5 million for a better chance for the next election. I remember that's what I did in like the first time I was able to vote. And after I did that, I think after I did that, it was like Trump won. When everybody was like on like the, was it like, no, it was Trump and then Clinton. I forgot. I don't know if like Bernie was like running in 2016, but he got shafted for Hillary. Was that what's going on? That one? I wonder if that is what went on. But the bottom line, I really hate the concept of voting to begin with, the democracy, like how it is in America to begin with. It reminds me of my uncle who used to live in Seattle. He was really politically active until he got burned out and said, F it. He started a AA fintech company and now travels around Asia. Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Like, like, oh wait, that reminds me of another thing that's happening in right-wing news, where the Supreme Court said that anchor babies are considered American now. Yeah, that was another thing that happened, and that's not new, but it did happen, in the right wing were talking about it. Yeah, and the person that okayed it was I think, what was her, Amy Coney Barrett, like a Catholic conservative woman in like in the Supreme Court, and I'm like, what? Like, which one of those? Which one of the, like, one of these don't really sound like the other? Why is there a woman in the Supreme Court? But she's Catholic, so she probably believe there's probably nothing in Catholicism. Well, you would think that there would be something in Catholicism that would prevent women being in positions of power, that would being in a position of power that would be able to assert men. But hey, but then there's another thing that she pretty much said, that if you're in like anybody who is just born here is an American, which is very interesting. Which is very interesting. Which is also an interesting talk conversation that like the white supremacists have within the right wing space, saying that the only people who are considered American are white men of good character, white free men of good character, and it begins and ends with that. Like, the U.S. is a constitutional republic. I don't even know what that means anymore. The U.S. is for sale. That's what it feels like. It's just the world's piggy bank. That's what it really feels like. But it's yeah. He said, "I got my money in America and I keep my mind and body in Asia for my mental peace." I a part of me is like, I really want to do what I can with my God-given talent to make things better in America. However, if that's not what it's meant to be, then it's not meant to be. Because right now the state of entertainment is in hell, like absolute hell. The bar is in hell. Uh, culturally, I don't, I don't know. It's I haven't seen a show recently that really got me excited, or it says anything that I personally liked. But the question is, can it get lower? Yes. If you have imagination, yes, it can get lower. It can always get lower. It can always get lower. Like, what I've learned in the past 5 years: never underestimate people's tolerance for slop. Never underestimate people's tolerance for just for like the worst thing imaginable. People will look at you dead in the eye and tell you that GTA will be a good game or something like that, that they'll buy the pre-order, that GTA is a game that's worth 13 years, 15 years in development. There is nothing on this God's green earth that's worth that. No product is worth that ever. Roberts was referencing British feudal law, which made no sense. Such like serfs belonging to the lords or to land. 20 years in development, yeah. 20. Oh yeah, because they were working on GTA 6 while they were working on while GTA 5 was out. So not out, was like while it was in development. So probably more. Roberts was referencing British feudal law, which made no sense, which is like serfs belonging to the lord. Okay. Are you talking about the hearing that says anybody who's born here is an American? Wait, why? Wait, hold up. I think it messed up. Of course it did. Yeah, no wonder why the hotkeys weren't working. There we go. Yeah, never underestimate people's tolerance for just garbage. That's why, you know what? That's really the reason why I stopped listening to content that of people's theories of how to write stories better. Because I'm like, does it really matter? When people just love garbage, does it really matter? When people start complaining, is your quality assurance? That's been my realization. Your quality assurance is when people start complaining. Birthright, yeah, birthright citizenship. Yeah, birthright citizenship. It's over. It's so over. Like I try, me personally. Did you see Ridley Jones, a kid cartoon about non-binary queer animals? Ridley Jones. When I see Ridley, I just think about Metroid, but I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's like stuff that I'm talking about. Oh yeah, yeah, that's an old. Yeah, I see the two bovines. Man, that's a throwback for from 3 years ago. Oh, this is like Netflix Junior. At first, I was thinking, who watches this? But I see them like with videos 5 years ago with like 21 million views. Man, kids content, baby content is just wild. But no, yeah, I get it. Dude, that reminds me of when I was watching the Proud Family Louder and Prouder. There was this one episode of Oscar being homophobic, and I remember the funniest thing about that episode was the show was basically wait, yeah, I remember the episode was basically Oscar being homophobic, and then everybody was saying like, "Yo, Oscar, why are you homophobic?" And he's like, "I'm homophobic because I am." And I'm like, and like, the end of the episode was that like one of the gay banker basically was did one thing that's nice to him, and he wasn't homophobic anymore. And I'm like, dang, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. It's like, so Oscar's homophobic because he didn't think gays had feelings. Like, like what's going on here? Like they could have done something really cool, like have a deep dive of like why Black Americans are homophobic, or just why Black Americans are homophobic. But no, no, they could have really. They could, I feel like if I was in the writers' room, I would have done something so cool, but I would get kicked out because I'm a good writer, because I'm tough like that. I'm like, that's so interesting. Oscar was like not homophobic anymore, literally because the banker did something nice for him. He decided to do something nice for him, and he's like, you know what? Maybe all gays are okay. I'm like, dude, man, man, that's crazy. The best argument was from Clarence Thomas, not Roberts, who compared all Americans to serfs. Yeah, yeah. Like, does it really matter? Like, I don't think anybody can convince me that it should matter, that I should care. And if they tell me, and if they want me to care, what should I do? That does not require voting, because I am not convinced that voting does anything. A black person did something nice to me today, so I will stop being racist for a 36 years moment. Exactly. Exactly. It was literally that. That episode was literally that. So, and I'm like, you could have gone over so many different things. You could have gone over why black people are racist, or you could have gone over like, no, the fact that they could literally, that would be very interesting to hear where that origin would come from.
they can go through two different avenues. They could go with the whole buck breaking narrative, or they can just say it's like Christianity is homophobic narrative. But the Christianity is homophobic narrative, which would be very interesting as well, to simplify and actually it simplifies and actually harms the conversation. Yeah. The Christianity, like saying the Christianity, like it's a cultural thing that's an offshoot from Christianity, which would be very interesting because the Proud family, they aren't necessarily Christian, they're just black. I think they probably went to church, but not real. They're just culturally Christian. That's the family vibe, from what I picked up. And I think they went to church a couple of times, but like, yeah, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But it's through that, and it's a sign of not being like homosexuality, or if like being effeminate is a sign of not being a man. So it would make so much sense for Oscar to like not like gay people because it's not man. It's not a traditional sense of masculinity, right? It's like I can write these episodes better than they can. like it's just with the fact that they went with, oh man, the person I did not like did something nice to me, therefore I'm no longer like anti this idea. It's I need them all. I need them all to be kicked out. I need them all to go bankrupt. I need it all gone forever. Forever. I need like I don't care. I will start voting with when the person that I vote for just institutionally routes all these bad writers from media. They will just go in total fascism style. Just go in and kick them all out and ban them from writing, ban them from literature. That's when I'll vote. like, I feel like if you were a dictator for those kids' cartoons that would tackle homophobia and racism, those people would expel you because you would actually represent the points the racists and bigots make. Yeah, like I would actively represent them. You know who does it well? The Boondocks does it well. You want to know why I know the Boondocks does it well? Because I see racist right wingers. They quote the Boondocks. They take clips from the Boondocks and they laugh at it. Like you can do that. You can make the point, and you with that narrative you can say why they think it's wrong, right? But you have to be honest. You have to be honest on why people believe what they believe. I feel like if you were yeah. Cultural supremacy, even the racists take your clips. Oh man, if anybody takes my clips, that'd be funny. That'd be interesting. And not get banned like you did. I hope you have a new email, so they won't see you. They won't accuse you for band evasion. I don't know if they do that on TikTok. But yeah, these people are just not good writers. Like, they are just not good writers. They need to, like, be expelled. They need their hands crushed. Like, absolutely crushed. Their tongues cut out. Like, cultural supremacy. Yeah. Like, if they ain't gonna come correct, don't show up. Period. I really like how the Boondocks portrayed it so well. Why can't other TV writers do the same? Because they're not good. They're not good. That's why they can't do it. Like, they don't do the same because they don't have to do the same. That's the thing. They don't have to do the same. They just show up, they write something for like they're paid to write something like an 11 or 22-minute episode, and if it gets good ratings, then they get hired to do it again if it's profitable enough. But they don't have to do that, really. They can maybe do it for like one season, and then they can ride the coattails off of that one good season, like Stranger Things, like Big Mouth. I don't even I don't even know what. Not actually, Big Mouth was probably just pure nepotism from the get go. I think that was just pure. That was somebody wanted to keep their nephew fed for like a couple of decades, for a couple of years. Yeah, for a couple of decades. For a decade, maybe. Like I remember the first thing that made me when it was like an LGBT like narrative in kids cartoons was like when Mr. Ratburn was gay and Arthur. I was so mad when that happened. Not because it was an announcement that he was gay. I just hated the fact that the writers just made an OC and just shotgun wedding him to Mr. Ratburn or whatever that guy's name, and everybody just accepted it. Like everybody accepted, even Arthur, like all the main cast who did not know. Like I remember looking it up. Like that guy that Ratburn married, that was his debut episode. That was his debut episode. There was nothing that led up to it. It's like, oh yeah, this character is gay and he's getting married, and everybody just accepted it. Even the audience accepted it, and I'm like, everybody needs. I'm like, institutional firing. Not even firing, institutional. These people need to go to jail for being bad writers. It's like it needs to be like a criminal offense to suck this much. And I don't blame the audience, because the audience, they just want to be entertained. They just want to consume things. So it is a moral imperative to punish the writers feeding the people slop, feeding the people poison. I need them to be imprisoned. Never touch the airwaves. Ever. I don't blame the consumer anymore. It's not their fault. It's not the consumer's fault. Being an adult makes you realize it's not the consumer's fault. It really isn't. Because people will like what they like. Yeah, isn't Big Mouth director a J? Of course he is. Like, you don't need to. Like, once you're in this game for long enough, like, you only gotta look it up. But I am gonna look it up. I am gonna look it up. Well, I know Mating Season, like a lot of the producers are J's. Mating Season is like their new thing. Okay. Oh, Goldberg. That's the first name I see. Levin. Ooh. Let's count how many. How many? There's four. There's four creators. I see Goldberg, so that's one. I don't even need to look up. Wow, what a Nick Kroll. Kroll was born in New York to Lynn and Jules girls. His father is a billionaire businessman who founded the corporate investigations consulting firm Kroll and dude. Dude. Like, yeah, of course. Ah, man. I mean, yeah. Second. That's the second one. Levin, yeah. 2, 3. 3 for 4, like one, 3 fours, and Dude, I wish once my thing blows up, I would absolutely love for my Wikipedia to be a stump. I would love to be working on things and my Wikipedia just be a complete stump. Um nah, like 3 out of the 4 of their Wikipedia just say it. 3 out of 4 at least. That's what Wikipedia confirms. I really apprehensive. What would make American media look like 20 years? They don't even pretend to care about story. 3 of 4 of the 4 at least. At least. Look, I'm really apprehensive. What can American media look like in 20 years? Depends. It really depends. Who's in charge of the narrative? Who's in charge of the producing the culture? Who's in charge of cultural production? That is the question. Right now, it's a bunch of Jays in charge of cultural production, and it's siphoning energy. It's not giving life. It's not breathing life. It's not breathing energy. It's siphoning it. Man, let's get back to lighter topic. It's making me depressed. Yeah, like I don't like. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta wake up and just do it. You just gotta do things. If you don't do things, you just rot. What's your thoughts on the Loud House? I only know that Chris Savino created it. He got kicked off. He became Christian, and good for him. Like that's the only thing I know about the Loud House. But yeah, big ups to Chris Savino fighting Christ. That's my favorite genre of cartoonists, like with Butch Hartman, Chris Savino, probably a third one. I know, like the obvious thing people would talk about would be the fan base, but that's not interesting. The fan base is not interesting to me. Like, I know that's like uh, a wild thing to say, but it's if you've been on the internet for long enough, the fan base, like everybody knows fan bases are terrible because nobody has like a real identity to latch onto, so they just latch onto so many gay stuff because that's an ideology that's pretty much it's safe to be proudful prideful of. I remember I saw like that reminds me of a YouTube video that was titled "Normies Don't Have Morality," and I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I don't even need to. That's like one of those videos where I'm like, I don't need to watch it, but I agree. Like, like normies don't have morals. I don't need to watch it to agree. Like, you know, like today in today's society, yes. In today's godless society, yes. I still can't get over how Butch Hartman got canceled for doing a Christian cartoon. Did he? I don't think he did. I don't think he got canceled for doing a Christian cartoon. I think he got canceled, from what I remember from years ago. He got canceled for making an off-color joke about the original voice actress of Timmy Turner to Tara Strong on on like a podcast. And when he made Oaxis, that was kind of a his Christian news his own little Christian news network, not news network, his own Christian network. It was a lot of hype but no content behind that hype. And he did say something about like the power of prayer can heal autism or something like that. I remember when he like went on tirades like that like years ago. People were like, "Okay, we're kind of done with him." Oh yeah, and there was like a whole kerfuffle of there was like this YouTube creator called the Inkwell that was working with Butch Hartman, but Butch Hartman was not. He was like he just kind of took advantage of his status and his leverage of being a famous cartoon creator, and just kind of worked him to kind of just I wouldn't say overwork, but he did not do. He was just not kind, I guess, for the lack of a better word. Man, I need to work on my legs. My legs are, man, my body's a bunch of twigs. I gotta work on that. But it was a bunch of like malpractice. I think him making a Christian cartoon was like the least of his worries. I think it was a bunch of malpractice that he did in his relations to his audience. One thing that I will forever think is funny was when Butch Hartman established. He kind of made a whole fraction within his fan base of with the concept of anti-fans. And what made one person an anti-fan is non-canon pairings or gay pairings of his characters. So Butch Hartman was so against Fujoshis, which I was like, yo, that's kind of like, I know the entire internet was like, yo, that's terrible. A creator shouldn't be like this. But I'm like, that's kind of hard. I like that. That's kind of cool. Just name me one person that would be actively like, yeah, no Fujoshis, no gay pairings. I'm not with that. In fact, if you want to be a fan of mine, don't bring that to my areas. Don't bring that in my areas ever. No, this is not negotiable. I'm like, you know what? That's kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. You guys want me to hate this guy? It's kind of tough. It's kind of, you can't do it. You guys can't make me hate him. But I watched his Christian cartoon. It's pretty run of the mill. If you ever blow up with the current political vibe of the cartoon community, you would get into so much controversies for your views. LMAO. I mean, I already know people. Like, no, yeah, freaking. Like, you were here for in the last stream where I had the falling out with my original friend group because of my views, dog. So like, that's not new to me. And those were people that I considered friends, right? So when it comes to people that I have, like, I really don't know, like I don't care. Like, I don't really care. I really don't care. Because I'm not only that, I am so dead ass certain that I don't honestly, like I said, if I get to a certain amount of clout, I probably will just not. You guys would see me less and less. I will be like Aaron Magruder. I would be like Aaron Magruder, where I would just disappear, and you would only know that I'm alive when I'm just uploading like comic pages or hiring people to up the production of the not the cartoons, but like the comics. I would do no. I would be like Eric July. I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna be focusing on the comic. If you want to talk to me, here's like a private Discord or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. It really depends on where I get the majority of my income when it comes to doing stuff like this. If I get a lot of income from like streaming, yeah, sure, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I'll keep streaming, and I'll keep streaming. But honestly, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy, dude. No kidding, no kidding. Like, it's hard for me to even go to like artistic areas, and it's hard for me to go to like places where artists congregate, and in my area, because when I talk to other artists, the first thing that comes to my mind is you are going to hate me. Like, it's like all these people think I'm nice, but I'm like they are going to hate me. Like they're going. No, you want to know like the biggest example of that. The biggest example of that was I remember I was I was around this a small like comic convention. You are going to hate me. I remember I was at this small comic convention, and what I was doing there. I was trying to collect as many business cards as possible so I can promote them on my Substack. Right when I was like uploading snippets of my comics, like every like 3 times a week, right? And while I was gathering people's emails, I was just chopping it up, right? And when I chop it up with people, I have like a 3 question thing. I usually ask people what their name is, what do they do, and depending on on their answers, not what do they do, but like what do they like, and depending on like the second question, or not what do they like, is like what is their inspiration, and depending on how they answer the second question, it requires active listening, but depending on how they answer the second question, I ask the third question, depending on the second question. And depending on if they like talking, I'll chop it up a little bit more. But as soon as I feel like the conversation gets stale, I end it and I take their card, and I just exchange cards, and that's it. I would do that, and at this convention, there were a lot of women. There were like a number of women vendors, and I was just like going down the line. I was like, "Yo, da 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 da." No, you want to know something? I remember I did that at like for a couple conventions, and I remember there were like some people at the booth. They were like they saw me like going down the line, just asking questions, and I remember there was like one or a couple of them being like, I can't. They were like, oh man, I know what my answers are. Like they were like women trying to skip in line for me to ask them questions. Like that was, you know what I mean? I don't think it's because I like I wouldn't say that I had aura. I just think people just don't ask questions anymore, right? Because let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I'm kind of chopped. Like let's be real. Let's be real. But people love a good conversation. People love a good conversation. So, and not only that, I remember I was like asking people, I was going down the line on like the second occasion, and there was this one girl that invited me to her Discord where it was like a group of artists. And I remember like when she gave me the Discord link, I joined, and like the day after the convention, I was trolling through the server, and I remember seeing they were talking about me, and they were talking about me while I was doing my thing, and they liked it. They liked me. Like they liked me. They're like, oh, it was like there's a guy that's asking questions. I remember there was like in the server. They were like, okay, there was a guy. Someone said there's a guy asking questions, and someone's like, is he weird? He was like, no, he's really nice. No, he's really nice. It's like he's asking really good questions. Something along the lines. They were like, they enjoyed my company, right? And yeah, suffice to say, yeah, um, they would all hate me. Like being a if anybody asked me for my genuine thoughts and opinions on things, which I'm usually not afraid of that happening because no one. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'll be 110% honest with everybody right now. No one cares about your opinions. So, in the back of my mind, I think, yeah, this person would hate me. It's not like they're gonna ask me any question, any like divisive question, ever, ever. Like, I think it's because I am. No, not only that. I think it's because I'm black that I have like certain immunity. Like people already have pre-existing notions of what my beliefs are. So like, so like I get a lot more leeway because like just by that alone. Like there are some things that I can say because I'm black, and it feels like I can. It feels like I can get away with some things. They think you are the usual black left. Yeah, I draw, I write, I create, I'm charismatic. They think I'm like off the cuff. I'm a black leftist. I am Huey. I am like Huey in the flesh. I am like a black socialist. Probably. I'm an artistic guy. I'm an artistic black male. They probably think I am the most leftist socialist guy to have ever graced the earth. Ever. Like, you know what I mean? Because the arts is generally just leftist, right? So they probably have that assumption about me. So just because I am who I am and nobody knows who I am, a lot of people have like their guard down. And I feel like if people did realize who I am, I don't think they would. I'm pretty good when it comes to confrontational people too. I'm pretty good with confrontational people. Honestly. They think you probably make the racism in comics YouTube videos on YouTube. we on the racism in comics, the Masonymous view. I'm like, we need more of them. Like, more racism, please. Like, here's a thought: the kids love racism. We need more. And honestly, it probably wouldn't even go like be like that anyway because I don't even talk. Like I don't talk in conversations. I ask questions. Like nobody wants to hear you talk in conversations. Like come on, let's be real here. Nobody wants to hear. Nobody. Everybody wants to be heard. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to be heard. That's the one thing that I've learned by talking to as much people as I did, going outside. Everybody wants to be heard over than being listened to. It's so sad that you don't film when you attend comic conventions. It would be interesting to hear the type of conversations you have. Um, it would be a very short video. Cause I think the funny, I don't think I think the funniest interaction that I had wasn't in a convention, but was more in the sense of I was trying to get my comics and bookstores, so I went to my local mall that like sold comics, And I went to them and I was like, "Oh yeah, hey, I sell comics. Is it possible for me to like have my books, in in your store?" And she was like, "Oh," and like I remember the woman at the counter. She was like, "Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, here's my manager. Just here's the card. Talk to them, and then you'll probably get your comic books up on the shelves or whatever." And she was like kind of disinterested, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to? I have my comics on me. Would you like to see them?" She was like, "Oh yeah, sure. I guess I'll see your comics." And I just put my comics, all four of them, like on the desk, on the stand, on the counter. That's the right word. And she was like, "Wait a second, you're good." So she's like, "What the heck?" Her jaw was dropped when she was like flipping through the page. She was like, "Okay, I remember she said like, I know this is gonna be mean to say, but I wasn't expecting you to be good." Like we have people come. She was like, "We have people come in all the time, saying wanting to put their comics in, but they're just not this good." And she was like, I'm sorry I thought that to begin with." And I'm like, you didn't have, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, you didn't have to say that, but I'm like, I don't know if that's like a backhand compliment or like, but I'll just take it as a compliment nonetheless. But I thought that was it. Saying it is crazy. Yeah, saying that she didn't expect me to be good. she, was she apologized beforehand. And I was just like, oh man. She probably think it would boost your ego in a roundabout way. Like, yeah, it did. Like, I mean, it worked. Like, I mean, like every time I show, like, when either I show the comics to somebody or Matt shows the comics to somebody, like, like the egos will get boosted. Egos will get boosted. Because I remember there were times where Matt wanted to split apart, but he would still show the comics around, and the people he would show the comics to, they were like, "Yo, this is good, this is something," and that would boost his ego, and he would come to me and be like, "All right, Mason, let's try to like get this comic thing situated," and I'm like, "Yeah, let's get back to," I'm like, "Yeah, let's get back to work." Like, yeah, it's stuff like that. Because like every time I show the comics to somebody, it's like, yeah, like an ego, my, like nobody really says anything bad. Like people don't say anything bad, except for the creator of like Godhood Comics. Like that's like the only guy that out like just bluntless, just was super blunt about saying Just a Reaper is bad. But that was the only guy. I don't know if it will be bad optics to read the people in your town remind me of Sanjay and Craig. I should have watched Sanjay and Craig. That was like after my time of caring about cartoons. The only thing I know about Sanjay and Craig is that Snoop Dogg was in an episode. I love the people in my town. Like I cannot relate to people that's like, man, my hometown is boring, and I'm like, like I think why I love my town so much is when I give my honest takes, uh, that would be like, oh man, ours would hate you. Like when I talk to regular people, they're like, yeah, I agree. I'm like, okay, so there's like this culture thing. It's like maybe I'm not crazy. And the funny thing is, when I talk to somebody and they give their hot takes, and I'm like, no, it's not crazy that you. They think they have a hot take, or they think, well, it's a hot take by like the internet standards. But they talk about it like it's like, oh man, I shouldn't say this, but, and I'm like, no, Say it loud. Say it proud. You're right. Like you're right, dude. But like it's like just the common folk of North Carolina. It's really nice. I like the people here a lot. It's like the stuff like this. It's like I want to give back to my city, and really, I can't really, and also I can't really get down with that race baiting thing because there's a lot of, it's very equal. I try to like gauge who buys my stuff, like black people or white people, but it's pretty equal, right? Somebody's at my door. I'll be right back. Give me a sec. No, it's a solicitor. We're somehow we're getting more of those. Yeah, but like it's stuff like that. Like I want to give back to my community, but like as I was saying, did my mom just like close the door on them? That's funny. But as I was saying, it's like a an equal, pretty much white and black people that just outwardly support me. Dude, I remember there was this white guy. He's so cool. He's so chill. I will never forget him. Like his name's Dallin, right? And I remember like he bought. I remember he bought like the first time we met. He bought like one of every one of my comics, like off the strength. And I remember when like I would meet, I would like bump into him with like back when I was like hitting comic cons heavily, like he I had like the first chapter of Let's Go Metal Hero done, and I was selling my comics at like exorbitant amount of prices. Like the first chapter of Metal Hero was like $20, and he was like, "Okay, here's $20 off the strength." I'm like, dude, like it's like that. People like that. That's like a that's like pretty common in my area. It's just the absolute love that people have for each other. I love this. I love the South. Like, ain't nobody can take that away from me. I love my state. Sorry, I love my I love my state, and it's the people here that makes me love my nation. I love my country. Sorry, y'all can't take that away from me. I have nothing but good experiences. Sorry, can't. Too late. It's too late to race hustle off of me. It's too late. It's too late. Like, black people are cool though. White people, black people, they support me. Like I ain't no way no one's gonna get me to just hate these people. They treat me good. Like I would go out like in Vendmore, but vending is expensive, dog. It's just expensive. And I would say like I say nation as well because like people out in Dream, well, I feel I feel like we probably shouldn't have gone to DreamCon. I feel like I shouldn't have gone to DreamCon. Yeah, but the race baiting is getting crazy on X. Every other post is about black crime with Elon retweeting it. Yeah. Yeah. My answer is get off the internet. I no, actually, not not get off the internet. if the problem is crime, if the problem is crime, then it's pretty much a circuit. It's like a self-eating cycle of people of like a need of what was it? Police. Like there is a need of police, but black people are like, no, we don't need the police. We can handle ourselves, which not true. Which is not true. Like, so it's just like a self fulfilling cycle of police being defunded, and the criminal justice system is not serious, and it's a pain. It's unfortunate for everybody. Wait, why do you regret going to DreamCon? Because it just wasn't. It really wasn't what I was hoping for. I went there trying to get connections. I was mostly out there for opportunity, and there was none there. The closest thing to an opportunity that I got to DreamCon was meeting Carl Jones. That went nowhere. That absolutely went nowhere. We gave him Matt and I gave him the first volume of Just a Reaper, and like I don't know, and like I remember Matt was like punching the air, thinking, "Man, what is he? What if he's gonna steal our ideas?" And I'm like, I don't. Like he was, I remember that was like a genuine worry with Matt. I kind of don't care. I really don't care. I don't really care that much about stolen ideas, honestly. Because if they steal an idea, why are these people so Hollywood? Until I make it there, I really can't tell you. Until I make it, I really couldn't tell you. Like the best way that I can try to imagine why people would go Hollywood, why people keep going Hollywood like that. Let's see. I'm really trying to turn my gears. I don't want to say like, oh man, they forgot where they came from, but that's kind of cliche. It's kind of cliche. It's like to the point where it's like a platitude. I hate saying cliche, but it feels more like a platitude than anything. I think it's probably being jaded. If I had to guess, I'd say like when you're Hollywood, you've gone through so many things to the point that you're jaded. That I can imagine that it's so often that people would just like go to you for opportunity. They don't see you as a person, they just see you as the next step for their success. And when you're in that environment, yes, I think that's it. Because that reminds me when I was talking to somebody at a cruise who was from like New York, and I remember he said he lived in New York and California, LA or something, and he said he hated the vibe of LA. I hear a lot of people who from LA say that they hate the vibe of LA because nobody wants to talk to you unless they know who you are with, what agency you represent, because everything is just a game, not a game. Everything is just a game of status. Like everybody sees you as like it's very clicky, as a meal ticket in a way. It's very clicky. So I guess if you're in that environment for a long time, and it doesn't even have to be in like Hollywood. I see that on the internet as well. Like I said in the last stream, like you would have these kids that they move like they're in Mad Men, trying to get internet clout. It's a power game, yeah. And when you're in an environment that's not inside that power game, it's like you still have your guards up on you still have your guards up in the sense of everybody looking to you for a way out of their situation. And if not that, they're looking to take advantage of your situation. Like pull you down so they can lift themselves up. So if you're in that environment for so long, I can see why people would go Hollywood, because genuine connection doesn't like genuine connection in a dog eat dog atmosphere like entertainment. That I can see that can take a toll on how you treat other people. Unless I feel like unless you're a representative of like a company that's actively trying to look for people, it's different. But at the same time, I don't really know. Like I've been dog eat dog. It's not dog eat dog. It's like dog eating dog. That's a phrase of pretty of like a cannibalistic culture of throwing some like basically throwing other people under the bus, or using other people maliciously to benefit your situation. That's what I mean by dog eats dog. If they come from that culture for long enough, then I can understand why not being helpful, or not being helpful to like any up and coming person is not really the thing that they're focusing on. Like I remember when Matt asked like if I wanted to go to DreamCon again. I remember I was like, nah, no. At first, I had to really think about it, but after that, I was like, no, I don't want to. I am not going there again. They would have to invite me out there in order for me to go back there. It was fun, but I'm not really. I'm not really in the business of having fun right now. I'm still in the grind session of my life. Other people let the let everyone else have fun. Yeah, this is the good. Let's see. See if I can try to imitate some sheen on this metal. But yeah, I've been listening to enough. What's it? Maxwell Adams interviews to know that entertainment is a zero sum game. Which honestly, I kind of got that. I got that idea from Frederick, the guy from Saturday AM. I remember he said that, and that was like that was literally the. I think that was like the only thing that I remember him saying when I was at a Comic Con out in my area that he was at. My Twitter timeline's not that really that. It's just recycled memes at this point. My timeline is just recycled memes and just people's art. And sometimes the Indian content farm that somehow escaped freaking Facebook. Hmm. It's when it comes to like the right wing side of the internet. It's usually from a handful a handful of people that I would listen to keep me informed somewhat. It's not really from Twitter that much. Twitter has not really been a good source of information as much, like as of late. Aren't they losing users also? I don't think I would be worried about that. Losing users to who? Freaking Facebook? Instagram? Because I know people aren't disciplined enough to like get off the internet as a whole. But yeah, these people are going somewhere. And besides, like people usually leave Twitter. They kind of always find their way back. Like they always find their way back. Same thing with Blue Sky. I remember there was another website called Curate. It's supposed to be like Twitter, but for artists, and that didn't go out so well. Hey, I'm nearly done with these pages. The people who are reading this in the future, they're just gonna have to forgive me on my lack of backgrounds because this era of my life, is just working on this. Like, is just getting things done. I remember there was like an era of my life where I really wanted to do really good backgrounds, and I was envious of people who would draw an environment within every panel. I'm not like that anymore. I'm not really envious anymore. It's like it's I'll do that when when the time calls for it. Yeah, what time? Oh yeah, it's almost time to close up. I honestly did not expect to stream the entire 3 hours. I thought I would get tired in the middle of it. And about that Comic Con situation, did he ghost on you? Yeah, he said he was gonna do it like Saturday, this Saturday. He didn't ghost me. I was pretty transparent about what happened. I said that we're gonna do this at this time. He said that he wasn't gonna make it, and then like an hour later or so, he was like, "Oh wait, never mind, I can make it." But at that time, I wasn't even on Instagram. I was just I was just working on commissions, and then when I found out, I was already like an hour and a half inside in the stream. So I tried to call him, and he was like, "Yo, what happened? We were supposed to stream." And I was like, "Dude, come on." We had to. Like like I told you that I don't. Well, then again, you know, it just happened. You know what happened. Y'all know what happened. But we're gonna. It's rescheduled for today for next Saturday. Well, this Saturday. Nice talk though. Yeah. You guys will you guys are gonna make me canceled. You guys are gonna get me canceled just by asking me all these questions. I'm never gonna work in this industry again because of y'all. Because you guys keep asking me. I was like, no. It was like chatting up though. No, just keep asking good questions and I'll keep chatting. Dude, freaking yeah, you guys are gonna make me canceled. You guys are gonna cancel me with all your questions. Yeah, you're, getting, you're getting canceled by yourself. I'm just a man with an opinion. That's all I am. I'm just a man with an opinion. Anyway, y'all take care. Peace.